So I'd like to talk a little bit about gardening for mental health. Not everybody has a garden the size of mine, but there are ways to garden without a large space, such as putting things on your windowsill, in your bedroom window, like with a saucer or something underneath to stop it getting everywhere, the water. If you have a small yard or room for it, you could use grow bags, you could use small propagators and then plant things in your community, or just keep them in larger pots in your home. You can also choose to grow plants from seed which are meant for keeping indoors if you don't have a lot of space. My family are by no means rich, but my garden is quite large as someone who lives in rural Lancashire and has inherited quite a large garden off the grandmother. My grandma previously lived next door and we ended up cordoning off the garden and keeping it. It's basically a field. That is the buddleia that I just dug up today. It is no more and it's going to become firewood. So one year me and my friends planted all these little flowers like narcissi that you can see there and the crocus that you can see on the left. Yeah, so gardening is a real good thing to do for anyone who's feeling low, because you can start off in propagators that are quite small like these, or even smaller ones. You can get them online, I'll show in a second. And yeah, so you can grow literally anywhere. You just need a small area on a windowsill or something, and hopefully some pots to pot it out outside when the weather improves. So I'm not talking like on this scale, like you could try it. I'm talking like on a much smaller scale if you have a smaller space. But there are ways around it. You can get grow bags, as I've said. You can get all sorts of pots. You can get indoor plants instead. I just feel like growing things is so good for your mental health. Another thing that really helps mental health is if you ask someone you love to bring you a plant so you can remember them and think of them. So you can say, oh, would you like to plant some flowers with me? And then you can sort of like name it after your friends and people who you can't really meet at the time, like due to your mental health. So you could like plant each one out and then label it with your best friend's name if you have an online friend or someone that you can't physically meet, and then like just watch it grow. You could also do it in memory of someone who you've lost, which is kind of, you know, it's sad but it's healing. Like I always remember my grandmother when I'm planting things out and when I'm tending to the garden, because she loved it so much. So if you know someone who you've lost, like a grandmother or a grandfather who enjoyed the garden or outdoors, like it might be really healing to plant something in memory of them. If you have like very little routine and you need a routine, because a lot of people thrive off routine, especially autistic folk like me and people with mental health issues like me, just doing a little bit each day in the garden, or if you don't have a large garden, just using your time to plan it out or purchase seeds, or I mean even just like making a list of things you'd like to do, or things you'd like to enjoy nature wise. Like you could go for a walk, you could write a list of things that you might need to like improve your indoor space, like succulents and Swiss cheese plants, stuff like that improves the air quality. And also like you could look at like getting wind chimes just for outside your house to just improve just little things that make you smile, that might improve your mental health over time. I know that like when you're in the pits, you're in the pits, but I feel like nature is a big part of life, and it's a big part of me and my identity, and things that I know will make me feel happier and make me feel better. Like just going for a walk each day, or tending to your plants, or watering that like big pot of something that you have in your room once a week. Like it's something that makes you feel needed and makes you feel like good about yourself because you contributed to this beautiful world. This is my lizard. Having a pet is also very good, but if you can't look after a pet plant is just as good in my opinion. I would definitely say sunflowers are one of the easiest things to grow, and you can get dwarf varieties just to grow on your windowsill. Also, you can get bush type tomatoes that are just very small, like cherry ones that you can grow indoors, possibly if you have like a window and a pot big enough and stuff. So there really is no excuse when it comes to gardening when you have a little bit of room or like a yard or something. So if you want to get gardening for your mental health, I would strongly suggest trying it. Okay, thank you for coming to my crazy space. Bye bye.